Good morning. This is Norma Cowie, and welcome once more to a Sunday Thought. Interestingly, this week, as I was contemplating on what my Sunday thought would be about, I turned to my angel cards that sit on my coffee table in a power shell and pulled the card, and it said grace. Now, I find that was very interesting because my mind went into many different parts and angles. And then I sort of thought, well, let me look up the real meaning of this and the definition of grace. There were many, but some I picked up. Unmerited divine assistance given to humans. A virtue coming from God. A state of sanctification enjoyed through divine assistance. You have favor, basically you stayed in his good graces. They were said the archaic meaning was mercy and pardon, and a special favor like privilege giving by place and who you are. A charming or attractive trait of characteristic. There were many little things like that, and one of the things that I kind of enjoyed using as a title or address in reference to a duke or, your grace, you would address them as. But what really got me thinking was where it actually says way down at the bottom, a short prayer at a meal. I'm reading this out. So a short prayer at a meal, asking a blessing or giving thanks. And that was where my first thought went to, was about gratitude. Why do we give blessing on our food? I mean, I have friends that bless every little thing that they eat. I do occasionally. I just seem to get caught up on other things and, food, put it down my mouth kind of thing and into my tummy tum. But when we bless our food, we are appreciating where it comes from. I have been known to bless, as I bless the food, everybody that has anything to do with the food. Not only the food before me, but anybody that has had anything to do with it right from the very beginning. And I did that for quite a long time, actually. I was blessing that. I wonder how come we forget things. We forget that we used to do things that worked for us. But then life kind of comes in the door or the window or wherever, and the next thing we know, we're not really sure. We forget what we did or how effective it was. And then it's kind of back to the beginning again. Food is really important to us. And when we bless something, we are putting the universal energy, the universal light energy into that food that we're then going to take into our bodies that will then go into our systems. So in a way, we are saying to blessing the food, but we're also blessing the internal structure of our bodies. Having grace within your life, having grace of your disposition, having grace, which in a way means mercy, having that mercy, having that understanding that you may have, I was thinking of the sayings I sometimes heard, therefore by the grace of God. Now, God being that universal energy that we name in all sorts of ways. It doesn't really matter the name that we put on it or what exactly it means or relates to, but there's a recognition by most of us that there is a power that is more than just us. And that power we can use. For me, it is like a universal love force. It is a force that is there that I can use and I can relate to and I can feel inside me. And that force, therefore by the grace of God, therefore by the grace of Allah, therefore by the grace of Buddha, therefore by the grace of the Almighty, whatever name. So it's like that is part of our culture, hidden. It's something you don't think about really. But then when you begin to realize that you have the opportunity to bless your food, to say what they used to call grace. Now, if anyone out there watches Blue Bloods, as I do, the TV show, every week, all the family gathers on a Sunday for the Sunday dinner, and they say their grace before they begin to eat. That is a very big, large part of that show, and probably it is one of the reasons why it is so successful, because you're talking about a family and you're talking about how and what they do. But that gathering every week, sometimes the families, you might say, stuff is coming up. Sometimes it's support. Sometimes it's a little argumentative, just like normal families have when there's a group that meets every week. But it's that tradition, having the grace, having the essence, having the being of having a tradition, an essence of who we are. And so I wish all of you who watch this an element of grace in your life, an element of peace, of harmony, and a recognition that we can bless our food. Actually, I have been known to be very big on blessing people, blessing circumstances. And I often use my hands. I rub my hands and put them out or send them up to the heavens or whatever, using that force of love and light that is within an externalization. And that's my Sunday thought. Grace. How do we apply grace in our lives? Where are we merciful, or are we still in our judgments? Are we gracing our food with blessings and as it assimilates with us? Are we blessing each other? I have people that are real blessings in my life. It's just something to think about. It is a Sunday thought. I thank you for listening. I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for your comments. I thank you for just liking, sharing. And I just wish you well for this week. So I'm in a sundress today because the sun is out. I can go sit outside in the warm. It feels great. And I welcome that. And I welcome all of you. So have blessings. Thank you very much for listening.